Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Winnick here, back again with a brand new video today. So a few days ago I posted a video about superhero fatigue, and I was talking about some of Marvel's most recent projects that I felt were kind of unnecessary. If you want to know my thoughts on how I feel about the whole thing, go watch that video. I highly suggest you do. In that video I mentioned that I was going to make another video coming out this week where I was going to talk about why I have mixed feelings about the new Marvels movie coming out in just a week, I think. So this video is not going to be me bashing on this movie, or it's not going to be me like hoping that the movie's going to be bad or anything like that. It's more so just going to be constructive reasons as to why I'm worried the movie won't be great. I'm hoping that the Marvels movie will be really good. If anything, I hope it's amazing. I always go into these movies hoping that it'll be really good. I am a Marvel fan. I never go into a Marvel movie hoping that it'll be bad. Never. And I'm hoping that this movie is really good. However, given recent things that have come out about the movie and projects that come before it, I am nervous about how the movie's going to turn out, and so in this video I'm kind of just going to go through constructive reasons why I feel like the movie might be really good or it might not be so good. So without further ado, let's talk about it. So the first thing I have written down in my notes is the inconsistency with the previous projects that are leading up to this film. So it starts off with Captain Marvel, which if you guys saw my review for that, I like that movie. I do think it's a good movie, but it definitely could have been better. And the main spot where it could have been better was the characterization of Captain Marvel. I liked Brie Larson in the role, and I thought that the character had some cool moments, but I felt like the character wasn't given enough to do. And so that was a huge frustration I had with that movie. I loved WandaVision. I think WandaVision is one of the best Marvel shows that we've ever had, and I really do like the Monica Rambeau stuff, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with that in this movie. Probably unpopular opinion, but I did really like Miss Marvel, and I really did love the actress and her performance of that character, so I can't wait to see her return. And so whenever I saw Miss Marvel, I was like, okay, the Marvels might actually be pretty good. I'm like more excited to see it. And then Secret Invasion came out. If you guys saw my review for that, you know that I really liked the first 5 episodes, then episode 6, which was the finale, I was very let down by. And then it was after that came out that I was like, now I'm less excited about the Marvels. And look, I'm still hoping that the movie will be good, but man, just the inconsistency between these 4 projects leading up to it is a huge reason why I'm nervous. It's like, I like Captain Marvel, but thought it could have been better. Loved WandaVision, really liked Miss Marvel, kind of liked Secret Invasion, but just the inconsistency between those 4 projects of quality, as well as like the issues that I have with some of those projects is really frustrating to me, and I feel like this movie is kind of just going to be a big continuity of a whole bunch of inconsistent projects, and there's like a lot hanging in the balance in regards of what they have to resolve with their stories, and which that kind of just stresses me out. And that brings me to my next point, and that's that the runtime is only going to be an hour and 45 minutes. Now look, having a short superhero movie is not a bad thing. Some of Marvel's best movies are under 2 hours. Great example being Doctor Strange, or not necessarily the best example, but The Incredible Hulk, and I think the first X-Men movie is also the same length as the Marvels, actually. So, if an hour and 45 minutes is enough to get the story done, that's great. However, I'm worried that it won't be because it's continuing 4 different projects, and I'm worried that an hour and 45 minutes will not be enough to condense all that. And considering that this is an hour and 45 minutes with credits, that makes me even more nervous. I mean, I'm excited to see what they're going to do with these characters that I like and the stories that I liked from the previous projects, but I'm not sure if an hour and 45 minutes is going to be enough to do all that because, again, a lot going on there. I don't know if an hour and 45 minutes is going to be enough to go through it all, because I feel like the movie could end up being convoluted. It could end up being like The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which despite its very bloated runtime, was also very convoluted, or Spider-Man 3, which is very convoluted with its runtime, where it's like those movies could have been 2 movies if you really think about it. And this one, I feel like this movie, to maybe continue all the projects that came before it, I would assume would probably take more than 2 hours to really, really condense the whole thing, but considering that it's only an hour and 45 minutes, I'm not sure how it'll feel structurally. I feel like it could be really convoluted, or it could be just, I don't know. Like, if you guys saw my review for Morbius, you guys know that I do kind of like Morbius. I mean, there's a lot of stuff about it that I thought was really good, but the main reason that it fell short was because of how short the movie was, and you can tell it needed to be longer to flesh out the story more. I'm kind of worried that Marvel's will be kind of like that. I'm worried that we're going to start off really interesting, and then by the end of it, it's going to feel incomplete, like we needed more time to really go through all this stuff. So that's another huge reason why I'm nervous about this movie. Another thing I have written down is the budget. Now the thing is that the budget for this movie is actually one of the highest budgets of all time for a Marvel movie. It's over like $200-something million, which is more than they spent on No Way Home, so it's a very high budget movie. And having a movie of this budget isn't necessarily a bad thing, but given the way that Marvel spent their budget previously, I'm kind of worried about this because Secret Invasion, I think, was like the most money they ever spent on a Disney Plus show, and I have no idea where that money went. It seemed to me like they probably just spent all that money giving it to A-listers like Samuel L. Jackson or Emilia Clarke or whatever. And I'm worried that this movie is going to be that too. I'm worried that they're going to give most of their money to Samuel L. Jackson and Brie Larson and really just like not put it much anywhere else. So I feel like the movie could be technically really well done, but I'm worried that most of that money is just going to go towards the actors. Like, I'm worried that we'll see this movie and it won't be a super flashy movie, or it won't have a whole bunch of great action sequences, which is also one of my complaints about Captain Marvel. There's nothing too outstanding about that movie in regards to its action. I'm worried that even though high budget with this movie, I'm worried that it won't do them any justice because I'm worried about how they're going to spend their money. So that's another huge concern I have with the movie. So something else that I accidentally skipped over, but it's still in my notes and I'll still talk about it, is the reputation of Brie Larson. Now, I just want to say real quick, I don't have anything against Brie Larson as a person or as an actress. I think she is incredibly talented. I do, however, feel like she did kind of get wasted a little bit in Captain Marvel. I don't really feel like we got to see her acting talent in that movie. And so a lot of people just don't like Brie Larson because they didn't care for her performance in that movie, which is fine, but I do think people do take it a little bit too far. And with like the reputation of Brie Larson, the reason I'm kind of worried about it going into this movie, even though I personally don't have any problems with her, is because I'm kind of worried that like the people who are making this movie will just go off what they saw in Captain Marvel and be like, we don't need to have Captain Marvel do that much because that's what the first movie did. I'm kind of worried they're just going to waste her again, is pretty much what I'm going to do. I mean, Brie Larson's very talented. I hope that she really does get the opportunity to really shine in this movie, and all the people who previously hated her might come around to loving her. I mean, think about Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. A lot of people really didn't like him as Spider-Man. And then when he came out in No Way Home, everyone all of a sudden loved him. They wanted to see him in more stuff. And seeing him in No Way Home, which really was a great movie for him to be in, made people realize that they didn't really hate Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. They just weren't crazy about his movies. I kind of feel like Brie Larson really needs that shot in the Marvels. I feel like she really needs to have that moment where she can just like really hone in and just like show off her skills as an actress. That way people can look back on Captain Marvel and realize, hold on, I don't hate Brie Larson. I just wasn't crazy about this movie. I'm hoping that that'll happen. I'm hoping that she can finally really shine in this movie, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do that with the very short runtime of this film and the amount of convoluted stuff going into it. So, I don't know. That's kind of my next point, that there's possibly too much to work with. I've already kind of talked about how I'm worried the movie will be convoluted, and that's pretty much the point of this on my notes. I'm worried that they're going to have way too much to work with within too little time. I don't want to elaborate too much on that because I already kind of did elaborate on it, but that's a huge concern I have going into this movie. And then the final thing I've written down is a new tone for better or worse. Now, the director of the movie said this is going to be a fun Marvel movie, which I'm totally for fun Marvel movies. I really do love Thor Ragnarok or Guardians of the Galaxy or the Ant-Man movies, and I'm one of the defenders of Thor Love and Thunder, so clearly I have nothing against a fun tone to Marvel movie. However, I'm kind of worried that this new tone could be for worse, if not for the better, because the first Captain Marvel movie had some cool moments, and it wasn't exactly a fun movie per se. I'm kind of worried that they're going to make this movie a fun movie because, like, okay, well, the first one wasn't super fun, and that kind of turned people off, so let's make this one really fun, when in actuality a fun tone might not be what the story needs. I don't know how the story's going to go, but let's say, like, the story is, like, super serious subject matter, and it's all just, like, fun because they just had to make it fun because the previous movie, I guess, wasn't fun. That could be messy. So this new tone could be for the better. I hope it will be for the better, but it could also be for the worse. And if it is for the worse, I'm not really sure how to feel about that. So yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for my reasons I'm worried about this movie. Look, I'm not going into this movie hoping it'll be bad. I want it to be good. I want to walk out of that theater loving this movie. I really do. But I'm just worried that it won't be great. I don't think it's necessarily going to be a horrible movie, but I'm worried that I'm going to walk out and it's going to be underwhelming, mediocre, just okay. Any of those kind of words, you know? I'm hoping that it'll be great. I really am, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to seeing these characters come back. I'm really interested in seeing what they can do with these actors or what they might be able to do with the budget, but I'm also nervous at the same time because of things leading up to it. So, yeah. Those are all my thoughts on why I'm worried about the Marvels. Hopefully the movie will be good. I'll give you my overall thoughts about it whenever the movie comes out. Also, if you guys are not following me on TikTok, please go follow me over there because I post a lot of stuff over there. I post my Loki reviews over there. I post them on here too, but just go follow me on there because I post stuff on TikTok that I don't post on my YouTube. And make sure to also go follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm making a comeback to Twitch soon. I promise y'all about that, okay? Please go follow me on Twitch. I am going to start streaming again soon. It's just life's been kind of messy this last 2 months, and I'll explain that in another video. But that's going to be it for the video today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about the new Marvels movie coming out. I really want to know what y'all's opinions are. If you want to help out the channel, make sure to hit the like button because it really helps out with the algorithm. Feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and go click the link in my description to go follow me on my other socials. Thank you guys so much as always for watching, and that's been it. Peace.